Hi there. Have you ever planned to send your kids to a daycare? My daughter started daycare when she was 17 months old, but our search actually began several months earlier. After touring several centers and asking countless questions, I discovered what truly matters for a child's well-being. Today, I'll share the questions that guided our decision. After screening for fundamental factors, like security measures and basic qualifications, these are the questions that truly separate the good daycares from the average ones. Quick tip. If you're looking for an infant program, start searching early, even during your first trimester. Those waitlists can be shockingly long. First question, what's your teacher-to-child ratio? Many centers operate at the minimum required by law, while others hire additional staff. I quickly realized those extra eyes and hands make a huge difference, especially for younger kids. A class of 16 toddlers shows different dynamics when there are 3 teachers instead of just 2. Depending on the teachers, it can be the difference between constant crisis management and actual nurturing interaction. I also asked the director, what happens when a teacher calls in sick? This question reveals whether they maintain adequate staffing during challenges. I noticed that centers where teachers seemed calm rather than frazzled constantly provided better care and interactions. I definitely prefer 1 to 4 over 1 to 8. Question number 2. How do teachers interact with different personalities? Kids can be outgoing, introvert, or in between, and they can change. Beyond the qualifications, I wanted to see genuine warmth and adaptability. I watched how teachers spoke to children. Do they get down to eye level? How did they respond to both outgoing and shy kids? Did they show patience during difficult moments? My daughter is naturally cautious. She spends a long time watching before joining in, but once engaged, she's all in. I needed teachers who would respect her pace without pushing her to participate before she was ready. Question 3. How do you handle challenging behaviors? For toddlers, it's common to see tantrums, fighting, hitting, or biting. I specifically looked for centers that used redirection instead of punishment. I valued teachers who had age-appropriate expectations, set consistent but gentle boundaries, and focused on teaching emotional regulation. These approaches align with our own at home and help children understand their feelings and develop self-control without shame or fear. While you may not witness a behavioral issue during your tour, it's always a good idea to ask about their discipline philosophy. The best centers can explain their approach with specific examples. Question 4. What's your staff retention history? The early child education area sees a high turnover rate. This question reveals more about center quality than most any other. Our daughter experienced 3 teacher changes in her first 5 months, and each transition was rough. She started crying and drop-offs and sometimes refused to enter the classroom. I now recommend asking directly, how long has your longest serving teacher been here? And have any teachers left in the past year, and why? Centers that openly discuss staff support, professional development, and competitive compensations and benefits typically show better continuity of care. Question 5. How does your classroom reflect diversity? For our bilingual family, the inclusive environment is crucial. I looked beyond surface diversity to examine books and materials. Did they show various families and cultures? How were different holidays acknowledged? How are multilingual children supported? I was impressed by centers displaying family photos in traditional clothing, books in different languages, and decorations celebrating various cultural holidays. These subtle touches showed a commitment to raising respectful, globally aware children. Question 6. What does your curriculum prioritize? For toddlers, I believe balanced development across gross motor, fine motor, speech, and social skills is essential. I look for daily schedules with dedicated time for each area. Free running, climbing for physical development, story time for language skills, and outdoor activities whenever possible. Toddlers have short attention spans, so variety throughout the day is crucial. The best centers are equipped with well-maintained activity areas, thoughtfully selected toys and books, organized classrooms, and a clear plan to put everything into meaningful use. I was particularly impressed by centers that could show me their weekly planning boards and explain the developmental purpose behind each activity. Question 7. What food do you provide? If the center provides meals and snacks, are they nutritious? Are food allergies handled? What's their approach to picky eaters? I looked for menus with balanced nutrients. Do they offer plenty of proteins from various sources? Do they avoid snacks with too much added sugar? I also appreciate teachers who encourage healthy eating habits without pressure. My daughter is a picky eater. She doesn't like meat and eats very few vegetables. I wanted to make sure she'd be offered a good variety of foods and gently encouraged to try new things without mealtime becoming a battle. Question 8. How do you communicate with parents? Daily updates became incredibly important since my toddler couldn't tell me about her day. Our center uses an app that logs diaper changes, meals, naps, and activities with photos. This helps me feel connected while we are apart. I also value face-to-face updates during pickup. The brief conversations with teachers about small victories and challenges give me insights that digital reports can't capture. There are certainly other important questions, including teaching philosophies, sick policies, and closure days. But these 8 proved most crucial for our family. Looking back, I realized most of them focus on how teachers interact with the children rather than facilities or credentials. After a year in daycare, I've learned that while safety and curriculum provide essential foundations, it's ultimately the human connections that create a truly nurturing environment. The questions about teacher care, stability, and emotional support have had the greatest impact on our daughter's experience and development. Every child and family is different, so your priorities might be different from mine. Visit multiple centers, ask thoughtful questions, and trust your observations and instincts about where your child will thrive. What factors are the most important in your daycare search? Share in the comments below. I'd love to learn from your experiences too. See you next time.